Hi, my name's Helen and I'm the Individual Support Lead at Metabolic Support UK. I hope you can hear me today. Like most people, I've spent the last 4 years bumbling around a living room talking to a goldfish, so if you can't hear me, just give me a wave. Firstly, I'd like to say a huge thank you to the Alex TLC team, for this amazing invitation to speak. It's a real privilege to be asked to present to you today and to share the experiences that we've had feeding into the work of the IWMD service and registry. So on to my first slide. Who are we? We're the legacy of Jen Green, the daughter of Leslie and Peter Green and big sister to Becky. Jen was diagnosed with an inherited metabolic disorder called cystinosis, which affects the kidneys. With extremely little knowledge in the healthcare profession, no support group, and no knowledge of other families, the Greens set up the Research Trust for the Inherited Metabolic Diseases in Children, RTMDC, in 1981. Set up in the back bedroom of a house in Nantwich, the family raised funds for research where they recognised that despite not having the same condition, people with other inherited metabolic disorders shared commonalities, and each family was similar in an isolated position. Peer support became vitally important, and huge amounts of time and energy were ploughed into bridging connections and raising awareness. And from there we grew. Although only small, the charity moved mountains, not just in the UK, but in Europe too, paving the way for research and development for rare diseases medicines known as orphan drugs. The work led to Peter receiving an OBE and the formation of Eurodis, of which Leslie was founding director. Leslie also joined the Committee of Orphan Medicinal Products at the European Medicines Agency to advocate for safe and effective orphan drugs, where she remained until her retirement in 2018. During this time, we rebranded to CLIMB, Children Living with Inherited Metabolic Diseases, in 2001, continuing the work and bridging more local and UK-wide gaps in support. Jen, despite only being given a short time to live, underwent a kidney transplant, survived cancer twice, and went on to achieve great strides, gaining her teaching degree and her dream goal of teaching qualifications, as well as exploring her musical aspirations and joining a band before passing away at the age of 27. So what do we do now? Today, we are Metabolic Support UK, yes, rebranded yet again, to include all those we support who are adults living with inherited metabolic disorders, and those who may be bereaved too. We continue to provide tailored individual support through our helpline, emails and video calls, and offer practical advice on a whole range of topics from education and employment to financial support and travel. We build communities, bringing people together with the same or similar conditions. And we create bridges for those who have commonalities too. And within these communities is a platform. It's a platform for views to be shared, conversations to be had, and importantly, a platform for learning, which feeds directly into our advocacy and policy work, and also our wider work with other organisations and networks. Now, if you know me, I hate beige. I'm sorry, I hate this slide, but we're on a journey here, so bear with me. We're in this beige room with the fancy chair to talk about patient engagement, as it's called. Let's say a person, we'll call them Sam, just got a new flat. And the developers turned round and say, hey, don't worry, we'll make it livable for you, design it for you. Great, Sam says, that's brilliant, I'll move in when it's ready. Come the day, Sam gets the call. The flat's ready and in moves Sam. When Sam gets there, this is the scene. A lovely chair, well that's posh, minimalistic, not a lot of housework, bit of greenery, no hassle, save on cleaning. Sam unpacks, goes off to make a butty and a brew, and then sits in the fancy chair. Now it doesn't take a genius to work out that Sam's not now got to try and eat his butty and drink his brew. because there's nowhere to put his brew. He can't hold it, can't even balance it on the arm of the chair, beige all over too, so if he spills it, it's a right mess. And that's all before the nieces and nephews come to visit. Now imagine if Sam had had some input into the design of the flat. Much better, right? In Sam's life, the living room is the room used most. Although there's no energy or wish for loads of upkeep, it needs to be cosy, needs to be warm. And in the winter, particularly, a hard floor plays havoc with the old joints. And family and friends need somewhere to sit too. This analogy is the same if we develop a healthcare service or a new treatment without understanding the people you are developing it for. With rare disorders like the leukodystrophies, this is particularly important. So we'll move somewhat away from drug development and focus on service development with the IWMD service and registry in mind. When building a new service, the NHS commissioners and other colleagues can't invite everybody to share their experiences and views, so they look to patient organisations to share their knowledge. Organisations like Alex TLC and Metabolic Support UK have a unique offer, a broad insight into the impact that leukodystrophies have on everyday life and knowledge of any challenges faced accessing existing pathways of care or treatments to assist in the management of the condition. This knowledge of impact, of course, does not just cover the symptoms, but also understanding psychosocial impact. That is what leukodystrophy means to things like family, relationships, mental health, well-being, employment, hobbies, activities, etc. What are the care needs and how does this impact on all of the above too? Not just for the people living with the condition, but also family, relatives, carers too. So when it came to designing the IWMD service, we would be able to bring all this knowledge to the table. Now we thought we would walk into this meaning we were in a great position, being able to give opinions on choices, decisions, trying to ensure that those with leukodystrophies and parents, carers were kept as a priority. But actually, as you continue, you'll come to realise that this actually wasn't the case. This, in fact, became so much more than one of the dreaded box-ticking exercises that we as patient organisations become used to or asked to participate in and work to challenge. Our working group was a small group of people, experts in their own right, and connected to all the main teams. And Sarah and I came into a completely blank canvas. This meant that we were very much a pivotal part of the development of the service and the accompanying registry, as we'll talk about after. It's been a real privilege to work alongside this group, who have such a vested passion in improving diagnosis, services, support, understanding and outcomes for all those with IWMDs. So what did we do? Well, throughout the process, we provided insights into experiences of existing care needs and challenges faced. This, alongside clinical and commissioning knowledge, led conversations on what works and also what doesn't. What do we want? Why do we want it? Is it possible? And how do we achieve it? This formed the basis of the service. We then needed to ensure that the pathways into and through the service are accessible by everyone needing to use it. We needed ourselves to understand how the service would be used, but also what that would mean for every individual who needed to use it too. We asked an awful lot of questions, and we had even more conversations. We as organisations took up the lead on ensuring that all information and notifications would be accessible, understandable, and also sensitive too. This means all information is jargon-free and relevant to those using the service. Combining Alex TLC and Metabolic Support UK's knowledge and experience, we work to ensure that we have considered every detail and have done all the hard work in unpicking what each section of information access means to you so you don't have to. This means we can ensure that everyone accessing the service and the registry have comprehensible information and clear expectations of the service and its aims, and have crystal clear access to the support offered by Alex TLC and improve signposting to other organisations too. The registry captures both input from clinicians and from people living with IWMDs or leukodystrophies, and also separately their caregivers. We took the lead on this self-reported data, which was fantastic, and we worked alongside our clinical experts, Drs. Rahul Singh, John Livingston and David Lynch, to ensure that it corresponded where needed with the clinical data, so that we can see the priorities in treatments, management and support are aligned with each other, and ask the questions, if not, why not? We've taken care to ensure that despite everyone's experiences being different, we'll capture tangible and relevant evidence from patient and patient representative reported data, which gives important insight into the patient perspective and is valuable for wider knowledge and understanding of the disorders covered. This captures insights on both the physical symptoms and the psychosocial impact I was mentioning earlier. As a working group, we didn't want this to be one of those things that looks glossy on paper, but in reality doesn't quite meet up to the hype. So we've worked hard together to ensure that the registry and the service functions together and will meet the aims of improving treatment and care. Again, I touched on this earlier with the service. We've developed and gone through with a fine-tooth comb all of the FAQs, the registry information, and produced a dedicated website and ensured that it's all user-friendly. And we've anticipated all the questions that people might have about the registry, made sure they're answered, and ensured there's a point of contact for any questions we may have missed. This goes for the registry too. We need to make sure that you understand the questions you're being asked, right? So, in terms of family-friendly language, terms, usability, we had this covered too. I just want to add in here that I've always rated myself pretty highly on my grammar, spelling and punctuation, but having now worked with Sarah, I think I've been outclassed on a completely different genius level. I can't comment much on the next point relating to pilot testing, but I can tell you that Sarah and the Alex TLC team took the lead on contacting all the community and coordinated all the efforts on this and handled the responses from the pilot phase of the registry. Right, I don't know whether to duck or something because Sarah might go a bit red here and she might lob something at me, so I'm going to apologise to her now, but I'm going to get all sentimental with you all for a few minutes. I wanted to take the time with you all here today to give a different perspective on the work of Alex TLC, and that's from that of another patient organisation. It's been an absolute privilege to work alongside Sarah on this project. I feel we've strengthened the bond between our organisations, and I'm eternally grateful for the friendship and warmth received. I'm not just saying this because I'm speaking at an Alex TLC event. By the way, she's not paid me to say this, and I know it could be misconstrued as me being biased, but I absolutely mean it. I, along with the rest of the working group, have had a unique insight into Sarah's involvement and the massive amount of love, passion, fire and enthusiasm that she has for the work that she does. She has been meticulous in detail, she has first-hand experience, she has an incredible team, and throughout this she has harboured all of the knowledge which is gleaned from conversations with all of you here today and made sure that every one of you has been at the heart of every single conversation that we have had. There has been no stone left unturned by Sarah, and where she has been waiting for a response or remained unsure, she has had the sheer determination to get clarification from who she needs and pushes for answers, because she knows at the end of the day this is something that really matters. And I know this isn't just Sarah, it's the whole Alex TLC team who are all incredible and have done so much hard work behind the scenes and joined us at all the mobilisation meetings too. I know that from my side, the workload from this has been absolutely mammoth, with weekly meetings, weekly action points, and as Rahul alluded to, the amount of emails in our inboxes is just incredible. There's been discussions, frustrations, some giggles too. This has been years in the making, and we are patient organisations, let's not forget this. We are small teams trying to do other roles as well, which are important. We didn't have to do this, and we're not funded to do this either, but there is a need for it, and it's one that we need to address and work on for the benefit of you, our community, and the future understanding of leukodystrophies. The service will allow better pathways of care, improved communications, and a removal of unnecessary long journeys. The registry will capture data which supports and improves diagnosis and management of leukodystrophies, and the clinical and self-reporting data will, over time, offer groundbreaking insights into the real-world impacts of leukodystrophies. While from the onset, it will facilitate better conversations about care and support. I look forward to seeing this grow, and in particular see the fruits of our labour grow into something incredible. It's been great to be a part of this and to contribute so much to its development. I cannot emphasise enough the importance of Alex TLC's knowledge and experience and connection with you, their community, but also their ability to collaborate with immense love and respect with other organisations like ourselves. And of course, our wonderful clinical and commissioning experts. And so I'll circle back to the analogy about Sam. As patient organisations, we're guided by you. You are the reason we exist, and you are at the heart of everything we do. Therefore, your voice is important. As I alluded to before, individually, everyone has different experiences, insights, stories, feelings, and emotions too. Everyone's got different levels of understanding, confidence, abilities, cultures, backgrounds. You get it? We're all different. So, as well as providing individual tailored support, we've also got to capture your individual experiences. We're in these wonderfully unique positions where we can use these to drive conversations, develop new resources, and in this case, build an incredible new service and registry. We capture these experiences through surveys, feedback surveys, questionnaires, focus group research projects, and events like this one we're here today. Here you will see that it's not just form-filling and structured questionnaires that we gather knowledge through, it's also through conversations here today, next week, or over a support call. Everything you share with us contributes to our knowledge and understanding. So I've dedicated this final slide to say that regardless of how much knowledge you may have or may not have, or if you question how relative the knowledge you've got is, if the opportunity arises, please always share your experiences, your thoughts, and of course your ideas. We are rare, and so every individual's experience matters more so because there are smaller numbers. If you look ahead, the information shared in the registry will have the same effect. One person entering information about themselves, whoever they may be, will contribute to ever-growing knowledge which will be impossible to achieve without them. And let's be clear too that the responsibility does not just lie with you, it lies with others, us as patient organisations, and others including clinical experts to engage with you too, and most importantly, to listen. Thank you for lending me your ears today, and I'll make room for the next speaker. Thank you.